and kids under 12 are free. November 22nd through the 29th at the Moolah Shrine Center.
This is the Gashouse Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. Now, the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
We're going to have some fun today with some college sports, with some hockey. That's not fun. Boy, they're bad. They are terrible.
What the hell, dude?
I kind of hammered them a little bit yesterday on Sports on a Sunday morning. We're going to get them again. That is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic to come on the air in a post-game interview and say, and I guess it's the honest truth, that they're on autopilot. I mean, come on now.
How you be on autopilot at the beginning of the season?
You got millions of dollars in your bank account, and you got people spending millions of dollars collectively to go see you. Let's go. I mean, what the heck is going on there? Anyway, not to put myself and everyone in a bad mood. College sports, great stuff. Baseball, interesting. Interesting that we've already seen the Josh Naylor deal. We've already seen some stuff going down. The Gashouse Gang is ready to go. How you doing, Raj?
Buddy, let's do better than our Blues are doing.
It wouldn't be difficult. We'll save it for Amy Mark's score. She's going to unfortunately be part of all that here in the next 10 minutes.
Oh, okay,
I'm not happy with the Blues.
Well, let us know what you think, man.
Well, I just did.
Sick of their crap.
Look, all you have to do. All right, now all you have to do. This is the most pathetic stat I've ever heard, and I've heard some bad ones. On Saturday, when they lost to Vegas, there was a period of time from the first period to the second period where they went 18 minutes and 36 seconds without a shot on goal. It's
almost an entire period. Yeah.
You know what happened on the Vegas side during that time? 15 shots on goal and 3 goals scored. I mean, it is just unthinkable. I mean, this is the NHL, man. I mean, this is the top. Matt, this game counted, right? That wasn't an exhibition game.
It did count, yeah.
It was a real game.
I looked it up
in the standings.
Yeah.
So
it's not preseason.
Look, I mean, I was told this was a really good Blues team. In fact, I bought into it too. I was told that, the Cardinals were the worst, the thing in the world. And I never heard the Cardinals say they weren't trying out there. It might not have been very good.
In fact, the new president of baseball operations said he loved the hard work they were doing in the final series of the season when they were playing the Cubs in Chicago.
Come on, man. You're the Blues. Let's go. You're the Blues. You have an identity. The Blues play hard. They hit. They score. They have a great goaltender. They have awesome fans. They have a great coach. I mean, let's go. I mean, everybody's on your side. I mean, what more motivation do you need?
The one thing that is inexcusable in sports is effort. That is the most inexcusable thing, is to have a lack of it, because it is the one thing that you absolutely can control. You have every bit of control over whether or not you try hard. And if you're a hockey team and you are saying literally that we are on, quote, on autopilot, that ain't good. There is no excuse for that. I mean, bad breaks, fine. It's going to happen.
Again, that was Justin Falk, the Blues defenseman. Probably shouldn't have used that word. Now, Jim Montgomery comes on afterwards. He said, I don't agree with that. Okay. He said, I would say that we were flat. Well, what's the difference? You're flat. You're on autopilot.
Same thing.
It's the same thing. I mean, flat. I mean,
just a nicer way to put it.
Yeah. So
it takes ownership away from what you're doing. Like, you don't have the ability to change it. And it's the one thing you can control is how hard you try.
It's just such a strange thing in sports sometimes. And in this case, I just don't understand I get just like if you don't understand the system, or if there are injuries that we don't know about, or they're disconnected, they're discombobulated, they don't have confidence, they can't make the play. But a word like autopilot or not having effort is inexcusable at that level, or really any level, to be honest with you, but especially a level of professionalism like the NHL, where you're supposed to be playing and entertaining, and there's a lot of money at stake. That one kind of irritated me. And as you can tell, 24 hours plus have passed and I'm still irritated. That bothered me. Actually, 48 hours have passed. This is on Saturday.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just don't, if there's anything in sports, I just want to know that the people that I'm following are giving it what they've got, even through injury too. I mean, look, in the NHL playoffs, these guys play hurt. They're playing at 50%, 60% at best. And it is so admirable knowing at the end of the year, so-and-so played with a broken foot. I mean, like what? But now hearing this, it's just so odd. Like, wait, so you can't on November 15th, you're not going to play hard, but on this date you do? And aren't people still going through the turnstiles and spending $15 on beer and all that stuff? I mean, it just that one bothered me.
Well, you should be bothered. And if that's the case, and it's team wide, where everybody is just kind of going through the motions right now, as you said, word we both used is inexcusable. You can't be doing that at any point of the season, especially now, especially in the beginning. I mean, we're just over 20% of the way through the season, and you're already talking about being on autopilot, which indicates to me that there's a resignation to it. That the thing that I was concerned about a couple of weeks ago of this just becoming the thing that they are mentally, where it's like, probably going to lose tonight. And I mean, that kind of, to me, and maybe I'm putting words in their mouths, but that's what it kind of sounds like, that they're just assuming if they are, in fact, on autopilot. And I bet there's a lot of truth to what Falk is saying. I mean, Jim Montgomery can try to walk that back and say, well, it's not really the case. But I don't think he says it unless it's there. Unless it's there with at least some of the team. And if it is the case that they do feel like they're on autopilot, that indicates to me that they're just kind of resigned to what's going on. And that can't happen either.
I mean, sorry to bring up the Cardinals again, but if Ollie Marmol had said, I don't know, I think my guys were just flat today. I think we're just on autopilot. Or if one of the players said, I went 0 for 4 today, and a couple of guys couldn't get ahead. I think really we were just up there. We're kind of on autopilot tonight against the Cubs. Yeah. I mean, they would get destroyed. Are you kidding me? People get upset if they. Anyway, that's amazing to me.
So what do we do about it? Nothing.
Nothing. We're going to talk to Amy Mark scores about it.
Oh yeah,
we'll
Amy's going to fix it.
I mean, look, it's not. It just blows me away. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like I had somebody say on Sunday, you should spend 4 seconds on the Blues and move on. I'm like, no, actually, I don't want to spend 4 seconds on the Blues. I want to spend 4 or 5 minutes on the Blues, but they should know. And I hope there's got to be something that can light a fire, whether it's people being critical of them or their fans being critical of them or their coach being critical of them, and somebody's got to be critical of them. And again, I put this on the players. This is not Jim Montgomery, although it is his responsibility to figure it out. And it is Doug Armstrong's responsibility ultimately to create the right roster to do it. But at some point you got to hold the players' feet to the fire. And this is just, come on, that's insane. All right. So the other thing we're talking about today is the actual show in town. And I had a friend also text me over the weekend, said, when is St. Louis going to have a team that doesn't fizzle out in the first fifth of the season? The Cardinals? Nope. The Blues? Nope. City? Nope. All failed in the first quarter of the season. I said, I got 3 letters for you. SLU.
How about our guys?
SLU is good.
Undefeated.
They are the show in town. Celebrity factor, courtside. You had Brian Jordan, Bernard Gilkey, former Cardinals. You had former Billikens, Anthony Bonner. Jordair Jet is walking around asking people if they're going to Humphreys afterwards. You had Timo Baumgartel of City is out there. You had Sophie Cunningham, the WNBA star, former Missouri Tiger herself, at the game on Saturday. Starting, and not to mention local celebrities in business. People are starting to pay attention to the Billikens. Some courtside seats were had, and I think that that's a ticket you might want to invest in. They're 4-0. We'll talk to Bob Ramsey about it at the bottom of the hour. And then the Missouri Tigers. And one of these days, very soon, they're going to be talking about that Mizzou basketball team. That recruiting class is ridiculous, what they were able to do last week. And then football, of course, is what it is. A team that could be playing in a very nice bowl won't be playing in the playoffs.
Let me just say this about SLU right quick here. Wouldn't it be really something if this team makes it to the NCAA tournament and they end up playing a home game here in St. Louis? Because we've got the NCAA tournament first and second rounds.
That would mean they would be a very high seed. And I think that's probably
not doable.
Difficult. They don't typically reward mid-majors with much.
Hey, you don't have to. Don't make them travel.
But that's
let them play at home.
I know it would be great, but they typically will give Kentucky that distinction to play close to home, or Kansas or Missouri if they were highly seeded, or Illinois would get that. It'd be great. I love it. It'd be great. But I think for the time being, this is a team that can make the NCAA tournament, but if anything, just go see them put on a show, because they are fun. I mean, they score, they dunk, they fly up and down the floor. They've got players, they just roll off the bench one after the other. So Bob Ramsey will be with us. And Gabe DeArmond, love Gabe. Man, he's been covering the Tigers for a long time. Power Mizzou, all the great things that he started back then. He will be with us to talk Tigers at 12:45. So really nice show.
Let's go, buddy.
Good job, Matt Pajeski. Getting Gabe.
Matt's really getting it done today. Great job, Matt.
Thanks.
Everyone's really impressed.
Don't worry, we will talk some baseball. We got Bernie Miklasz tomorrow. We got a fun one, I think, putting together for Wednesday. And for today, we can always take baseball questions. We're the Gashouse Gang, after all. With Chris Ranji, I'm Tom Ackerman. Amy Mark scores. Hockey next.
Purina presents A Century of Service.
This is KMOX Radio.
KMOX is celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining St. Louis. On November 20th, KMOX Day, we will celebrate the KMOX pioneers.
This is Jim White for your information.
Legendary voices.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Groundbreaking programming.
KMOX Radio. We're at your service.
And unforgettable moments that have defined a century of broadcasting.
We did locate Ben this afternoon, and we've also located Sean Harnbeck.
Hear from current and former KMOX personalities who have helped make this station the preeminent news, information, and sports brand in America.
Oh, yeah! Just send us in the game number 7.
A century of service, celebrating 100 years of KMOX, is presented by Purina, your pet, our passion, on the voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-548-4040. 800-548-4040. That's 800-548-4040.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today, and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax rep.
Decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. For 43 days, the left kept the government closed, holding the American people hostage and demanding radical policy changes, including free health care for illegal immigrants. However, thanks to strong Republican leadership, the Senate voted to reopen the government and put America first. I'm thrilled to return to Washington so I can continue to vote to help Missourians, to secure our nation's borders, and to cut wasteful spending. Visit onder.house.gov to find the office closest to you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
At a dinner party, I heard a guy say, "I believe everything happens for a reason."
Dimitri Martin.
And I just wanted to smack him in the face, you know?
The Quick Draw Tour.
And he'd be like, "What the hell did you do that for?" You tell me.
November 20th, on stage at the Factory. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Produced by Outback Presents.
That's your belief, man. That's your thing. I don't know.
Don't miss Dimitri Martin live.
Hi, this is Dan McLaughlin. Congratulations to KMOX, 100 years strong as the voice of St. Louis.
Life on the bench and within the group, definitely. To be honest, there wasn't a ton, and it kind of got drained after that, and ultimately kind of played the rest of the game on autopilot, it seems.
Okay. Justin Falk, Blues defenseman, an honest moment, probably not the best choice of words with Amy Mark scores and Chris Ranji, Tom Ackerman, the Gashouse Gang on KMOX. By the way, news just in that the St. Louis University men's soccer team will be playing Thursday at 7:00 against at Herman Stadium. They are going to be playing in the NCAA tournament. So congratulations to them. They are going to host Kentucky in the first round of the men's soccer tournament at Herman Stadium on the campus of St. Louis University. And the winner will play, Indiana.
All right. Let's go.
This is so
baby.
awkward
I am so
now.
tired of
my
Indiana
gosh.
talk.
Oh, my
God.
gracious.
What are they, good or something?
Nah, who
The
cares?
school that I work for against the school that I went to. Oh, baby. How you
Who
doing?
you rooting for, Tom?
How you doing,
Hey,
Amy?
Amy?
How's it going,
Hold on,
Amy?
Amy. Who you rooting for, Tom? And just
Slew.
remember where your paycheck's coming. All right.
No, no question, Slew.
Attaboy.
Yes.
Yes.
How are you?
Things are not great, Bob. Not great.
All right. So let's just settle down. And I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
Justin Falk said what he said. It's over. Jim Montgomery disagreed with that, was very emphatic about that in the post-game press conference. Where does all of this sit right now with the St. Louis Blues after losing a game where they were really, really poor? There's no other way around it.
Yeah, we talked about this. We were talking about this a little bit earlier as well. So Jeremy Rutherford writes for The Athletic. He's, used to write for the Post-Dispatch, and he has a story out that says the Blues are just a bad team. That's the headline. The Blues are just a bad team. And I threw my caveat in there, which is the Blues are not a bad roster. They're not. They're a skilled roster. They're a talented roster. We know what the ceiling can be for some of these players. Jordan Kyrou is a guy who should be hitting 40 goals. Robert Thomas is a guy who should be getting 100 points. Jordan Bennington has stood on his head to win St. Louis the Stanley Cup and Canada the Four Nations Cup. We know what these guys can be. They're talented. I didn't even bring up young Jimmy Snuggerud, who's having a heck of a year. Obviously, even though they're struggling, he looks great. So we have Colton Parayko, Cam Fowler on defense, veterans that when you look at the individual players, these are skilled and talented players. So it's not a bad roster. Right now, for whatever reason, they are a bad team. They're not playing well. They look so disorganized on the ice. They look disconnected, but worse than that, they look kind of dejected. As soon as things start to go move in the wrong direction on the ice. And in some games, it's been right out of the gate. They fall down by 2 goals or 3 goals, or they have a lead and they give up a couple of goals. They can't rebound. There doesn't seem to be resilience. So I don't have the answer, Tom. I don't know that anybody has the answer, but there's an issue with this team right now. And these are the words of Coach Jim Montgomery, of Captain Braden Shen, of Justin Falk, that there's no desperation, there's no urgency. And for Justin Falk to say, we played on autopilot, it seemed like, oof, that's not good. You're 19 games into the season, and you have had every single game. The comments have been pretty much the same. No urgency, no energy. We're not winning the battles. We're not coming out of the corners with the puck. But then on game 19, to talk about autopilot, that's tough. That's not what you want to hear.
It's a bad time.
Bad.
It's what's bad about it is that it is so early. And 21% of the season, 22% of the season is over. So
and a lot of home games. You gave up many losses.
So, but here's my concern, and it's the thing that I said weeks ago, Amy, when we were talking about this, that what I'm worried about is they get into this groove, and I don't want to call it a groove because that's giving it too much. That sounds too positive.
A rut?
Well, you're getting into this place or I don't want them to get into a place where they just assume, all right, well, something's going to go bad tonight. We're going to lose.
I think they might have already gotten there.
That's what I was worried about. And when you get there, that is really tough to get out of.
Yeah. And we know they're already there because 10, 12, 14 games ago, I was talking with Chris Kerber and Joey Vitale on Offside Hockey, which is our Matrix Midwest TV show. So this is 10, 12, 14 games ago. Joey Vitale said, you can't accept a victim mentality. He said, here's what the Blues need to do. I know things have not gone well for them the first handful of games, but you can't have this victim mentality where you are expecting things to go wrong, or as soon as something happens, you throw your hands up in the air and go, oh, we're not getting any bounces.
Yep.
That was a dozen games ago. And I haven't seen that turnaround. Like I said, I'm not saying anything that the coaches and the team haven't addressed themselves. A lot of fans have talked about, trades or, how do you mix up the core? Well, the core guys have full no trade clauses. So there's that. Do you wait and hope that the guys that are skilled finally turn it around, like a Pavel Buchnevich, who's really struggling, hasn't scored an even strength goal in really, I think, over 200 days, something like that, just a really long time. I do believe Jordan Binnington will turn it around. He's a good
I'm good
goaltender.
With that. I'm good with that.
I know he's going to turn around, but man, if you are questioning your own energy levels, effort levels, and I will say this, Jim Montgomery did say that the team doesn't have any confidence. They shouldn't have confidence, and that they're struggling because I might have been Jeremy Rutherford who asked about effort level, and Jim Montgomery said, when things start to go wrong, that's when our effort level struggles.
Huh. Well, I try to remember in the past, how do they fired this team up? Oh, I remember they fired the coach. They fired Mike Yeo and they promoted Craig Berube. They fired Drew Bannister and they hired Jim Montgomery after firing Craig Berube. Yeah. They're not firing this coach. No. So if I'm Doug Armstrong, it might be time for the old Doug Armstrong press conference.
Yeah.
Where he stands in front of everybody and says, I just talked to the players and here's what I said. Your coach is going nowhere. Everybody in this place needs to step it up, or you can find a new place to play, or you can start thinking about something drastic like that.
I agree.
Where he is the old army, that he's going to go out and someone's got to show the same passion and loyalty and effort as the fans.
They're
it's just
selling out
crazy to me.
games.
This place, it's a great arena. They have top-notch production. They make a big deal before the game starts. Everybody's into it. They got great broadcasters. They got tons of media covering them. I mean, what more do you need? I mean, so I'm getting in there if I'm Doug Armstrong and I'm lighting them up and then I'm telling the media exactly what I just did. It's the only way that I can think of. I can only think of 2 players on this team right now where I could say they've had a good year. One of them's Jake Neighbors, and he's injured.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is, I'd say, Snuggerud.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been really good. And I thought,
young guy on it's a dysfunctional team right now. A young guy on a dysfunctional team finding his way is very impressive.
That kid's a player, and Dalibor Dvorsky's a player, but he's still it's a little new. But other than that, someone's got us. Now, Bennington had a 38 save performance recently. He bailed them out of some horrendous moments. He's going to need more of those, but he can't do it all by himself. I mean, this team has got to pick it up immediately.
What if they turned a wild boar loose in the clubhouse? You think that'd light everybody up?
Or just have some fun.
There's a wild hog. Just like, oh my God.
Maybe they could go rollerblading through the Mall of America.
Okay. I was thinking
That's
maybe
what the Mighty Ducks did.
some sort of team.
Okay.
Come
on,
got
people.
Good.
Was it the first
throwback.
one?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I was thinking
I'm an
maybe
adult.
some sort of team bonding,
Yeah. Well, they got a 10-day road trip.
There you go.
Maybe they're bonding at a hotel lobby.
Or
you know
what? It seems like every time they got the dads with them, that gets them fired up. Let's get the dads on some trips and have some fun.
That's what Doug Armstrong should say. I'm calling your father.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, come on. We love the St. Louis Blues. Some effort, please. And let's see if they can get something going here. The show in town. Oh, by the way, speaking of shows, Wednesday with Chris Kerber.
Yep. 6 p.m. Matrix Midwest.
I love it. Love Curbs, and we appreciate everything. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Amy Markscore is with us, the voice of the Billikens. Bob Ramsey's coming up next. They are
Let's go.
The team in town right now.
Bills.
And if you don't get on board now, well, Bob Ramsey's going to tell you about it and why you should. Next.
Speaking of getting on board, Missouri, the wait is almost over. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, going live December 1st. That is 2 weeks from today, but you do not have to wait until then to sign up. In fact, when you join today, an early sign-up bonus. That's right. Join today, and you can get started with $400 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From live betting to same-game parlays, FanDuel is the best place to bet on all your favorite teams, sports, and players. December 1st. FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Early sign-up. $100 offer. Bonus bets expire 30 days after FanDuel accepts its first real money sports wager in Missouri. Unique user identity verification required. Post-launch $300 offer. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms for both offers at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM, your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Mostly sunny and 57 degrees in St. Louis. Possible to get a little shower later on with a high of 61.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Thinking about a bath remodel or swapping that old tub for a sleek, easy-to-clean shower? Glover here for Michael's Baths with one question: what is there even to think about? Michael's beats the competition by 30 to 50%, uses top quality materials, and backs it with over 30 years of experience. And now they'll throw in a free shower door or $500 off. Schedule a free in-home consultation, 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com. That's michaelsbaths.com.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
he was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, he wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Friday night, it's men's Billikens basketball as they face Purdue Fort Wayne. Pre-game 6:45, tip at 7 on your home for Billikens basketball. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Ah, what a beautiful sound that is. What a team this is. St. Louis Billikens, 4-0 on the season. Our Billikens Report is sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri. Bob Ramsey is with us, the voice of the Billikens. Hello, Rammer.
Hey, fellas, how we doing today?
Doing great. What a win over Grand Canyon, 78-64, but it wasn't that close. They were up by 27 at one point. In fact, Grand Canyon went on an 11-0 run against the bench to finish that out. Otherwise, that was as good a defense as I've seen SLU play in a long time. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think the defense has been pretty darn good all along. I know Coach Schertz will want to nitpick, but I think I think we assumed that was going to be a hallmark of this team anyway, if they were going to be good. And so, yeah, but I think it started to show. You stepped up in class, and the defense stepped up as well. And when you look at they being Grand Canyon, all their shooting numbers coming in, and to cut them in half or by 2/3, yeah, that's pretty remarkable. So yeah, I would agree with you there. And then just to be clear for some of the listeners, and this is not a shot at the back of the roster, but including a couple of guys that aren't really in the rotation, plus a couple of walk-ons, that's who you're playing at the end. And I think they acquitted themselves okay, pretty decent, as Bryce Drew kept his guys in, which I don't blame him for. Everybody's still trying to play hard and to play right. But so that did take the game was not as close as the final score indicated, to sort of co-sign with what you were saying.
Yeah, Rammer, we were talking about this roster, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, and how much better it is than the one in the 24-25 season. How deep is this one, though, compared to that?
Well, I think deep, but better. I think if last year's team would have stayed healthy, and you had some devastating injuries, and you had a guy who was in the rotation who transferred, you kept your roster together. That was a really good roster with real talent. But I think your point is really good when you talk about depth, to the point that your head coach changes the way he manipulates his rotation. The first time in his career that he's ever played 9 guys, and even I think eventually it'll be a 10th guy. And so I think that illustrates your point that not so much the team, the roster was bad last year, but the depth of this team is truly remarkable. And not just with Coach Schertz. I've never seen a Billiken team this deep. So, they had marvelously talented teams in the past, but not to go this deep. It's pretty amazing to watch.
Yeah, and it's the way that this team is built: long, athletic, strong. They seem like they can all rebound, even the guards. I mean, Deion Brown with 15 rebounds in that game. Hopefully, this depth doesn't get tested here, because I saw Kellen Thames get absolutely smoked by a screen in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, that was right in front of you. I didn't get a good look. I mean, that was almost in your lap.
I heard it. I mean, it was bad. And he was down. And then Paul Otieno on a ferocious dunk goes down on what seemed like his ankle and got kind of twisted up with somebody there. So hopefully those two are okay.
And fortunately, you have almost a full week to get them ready. But for both little topics, talent and injury, to have the kind of depth you have, theoretically, you can survive a lot of things in the short term. So that's another real positive for this squad. And, you mentioned the rebounding. Deion Brown is something else. He's your leading rebounder 4 games in, and he's the second smallest guy on your team. That's the testament of the kind of person he is and the kind of player he is.
But we also talked, about the quality of the early season schedule, that maybe not the toughest schedule. So you really have to have good showings in these. And so far they've done that. I mean, I think New Year's Eve is the first time they're going to play an A-10 team. And so, you've got all these out of conference games that they're not particularly strong opponents, but so far they are dominating in most of these games, or at least they are showing that they are far better than what they have been playing. And it's not like they're just squeaking by.
Have the first 3 games been, I think objectively you say lesser opponents? Yes. But you don't denigrate what they've done, to your point. So, if somebody would want to be that critical of that, well, what's the alternative? Play really a close game and scrape by, but things have now picked up a great deal and will continue. Purdue Fort Wayne, maybe not, although a couple of people outside the program, a couple of coaches I know said, don't be surprised, they might be pretty good. But then you go, Grand Canyon in the Mountain West, in the Mountain West, that's a really good team that's been in the tournament for the last 5 years. Santa Clara, and then either Minnesota or Stanford. So that goes up. Then Loyola Marymount on the road. That's been a trap game before, and they expect to contend in the West Coast. I think right now they're undefeated and leading maybe. And then San Francisco out of the West Coast Conference. This is a comparable conference to the Atlantic 10. They expect to contend in that league. So you step things up here over the next 3 weeks, 2 weeks anyway, 2.5 weeks. And I think it's going to be a real test, not only to survive, to get through there with wins. If you do that, you've accomplished something and really are in pretty good shape.
I still have nightmares of Tom Crean taking Indiana up to Fort Wayne and losing to IPFW. So I want no part of it. Let me ask you this moving forward. Santa Clara, just to kind of peek ahead to that game on Thanksgiving night. What do you envision there? How good are they? The next big hurdle for SLU here on their schedule.
Well, they beat you last year. That's number one. So last year they were better than you. And like I said, they expect to contend in the West Coast Conference. For those who don't follow the conferences like nerds like the three of us, when you're looking at the Gonzagas and the St. Mary's, the San Francisco, Santa Clara, Loyola Marymount, typically that is the top half of that league year in, year out. And that is a league that is very, very comparable to the Atlantic 10. So those are the teams if you can beat them, you put a notch in the belt. Those are good wins.
Is there any reason to think, and I know that depending on where you looked, that preseason SLU, I feel like I did see them at least in one publication or one projection to win the conference.
I've seen 2 of those.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're expecting here, right? I mean, to maybe not necessarily win the thing, but finish in the top couple, don't you think?
Oh, gosh. Without, that's kind of hard to predict these days without knowing what your opponents are. Those things are all relative, I think, more so than it has ever been in the history of the game, where what the other opponent has. I think that the predictions I had seen, I think 2 firsts, a second, a third, and a fourth. And when
I did see a fourth,
Yeah, when you get to practical matters, Chris, I think you better have your expectation on winning the conference tournament. And to do that, to get into your double bye, it's weird to be talking about March and November, but to be in that double bye mix to lessen the need for one more win, to you don't have to win 3 and 3 instead of 4 and 4. I think that makes a difference when March rolls around. But everybody predicting the Billikens to be in that group, the top tier of the league, I think that's your expectation every year, yes.
I think it's partly because, Bob, and this is going to sound like an old man yelling at clouds here, but the days of SLU playing, the days of SLU playing Kansas in St. Louis, the days of SLU playing North Carolina in St. Louis, the days of SLU playing Mizzou, playing when I was a kid, number 1 team in the nation, Georgia Tech, rolling into Kiel Auditorium, those days are over. I mean, and that is a shame.
And that's because of the way the game has changed. It's not any one of those teams you mentioned's fault necessarily. Certainly not a mid-major like SLU or anybody else's fault. The Power Five have really unofficially declared to their team, don't play those mid-majors when you're looking at value and quad wins and that sort of thing. Now, if you can build and get to where you are a quad 1 opponent or a quad 2, you got a better chance, but the Power Five, they want to keep the money for themselves in their group. So it becomes an even stronger challenge than it has ever been.
Bob Ramsey, we love you. We appreciate it. Great call on Saturday against Grand Canyon. And we want you to tell us all about Royal Banks of Missouri.
Yeah, Royal Banks of Missouri. You know, I've been with the folks at Royal Banks for a long, long time. And don't forget, I think you could still probably get down to the factory and come in for the economic forecast breakfast. It happens every year. We're at the factory, the great experts coming in talking about the economics of the world, but specifically how they apply to businesses in our region. And of course, Royal Banks always offers tailored commercial banking services designed to help your business reach the next level. More than just a bank, we'll be a local partner. Call 314-212-1500 for more details. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
There, when St. Louis mourned.
My father, Jack Buck, passed away tonight.
We didn't just lose a great broadcaster, we lost a great person and a friend to the entire sports world.
Busch Stadium was the same sea of red the Hall of Fame broadcaster witnessed season after season as family, friends, and longtime listeners gathered to celebrate a great life.
We cannot begin to tell you all how much your thoughts, your prayers, your cards, your comments on KMOX, what you've done out by his statue here at Busch Stadium, we cannot begin to tell you how much that means.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Mostly sunny and 56 degrees, high of 61 today. Might get a little rain later on. The weather brought to you by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers and important decisions should not be based solely on advertising.
Discover one of St. Louis's greatest treasures, St. Louis Public Library's Central Library. Designed by world-renowned architect Cass Gilbert and completed in 1912, this Beaux Arts masterpiece blends stunning historic details with modern design after a $70 million award-winning renovation. Experience the grandeur for yourself. Free docent-led tours are available Mondays at 11 and 12:30 and Saturdays at 11 noon and 1 p.m. Visit online at slpl.org to learn more. St. Louis Public Library.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Congressman Jason Smith is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Congressman Jason Smith at 202-225-4404 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
This holiday season, the Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for the Holiday Food Drive. While supplies last, stop by any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 to benefit Operation Food Search and receive a limited edition DGS holiday sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details about the campaign or to make an online donation, head to KMOX.com/events.
Now back to the Gashouse Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Well, I've met a lot of great writers and people who've covered teams. I haven't seen anyone as dedicated to the craft as Gabe DeArmond. It has been a treat to watch him work through the years. Power Mizzou, PowerMizzou.com was always a go-to and always has been, covering Mizzou football and basketball. And welcome to the Gashouse Gang with Chris Ranji, Tom Ackerman. Hello, Gabe.
What's going on, guys?
It's great to talk to you. What's going on in Columbia? So this football team drops the hammer on Mississippi State, and Ahmad Hardy with 300 yards. And then just about, 300 yards from the stadium, you got a pretty good basketball team ready to tip it off tonight. Things are pretty good right now, I would imagine, even with Mizzou not headed towards a college football playoff game.
Yeah, pretty good. Obviously, there's a little bit of a hangover effect here. Really since the Vandy game, I think the A&M game officially ended it, but the Vandy game was the one that really kind of put the obstacles in the road. But yeah, overall, hey, I've said a number of times, if your down season in the SEC is 8-4 with the third string quarterback, your program's in a pretty good place. Basketball's 4-0, should be 8-0 because they don't play anybody worth knowing anything about in the next 2 weeks. So we'll see more where that goes in December and January.
Yeah, and we were talking about Hardy in the game he had, 300 yards, 200 of them coming in the second half. That's just and again, it's Mississippi State, but that's a remarkable performance.
Yeah, it's Mississippi State, but that's an SEC team.
Yep.
He didn't do that against, Southeastern Mississippi Technical College. So 300, it's only the second time it's been done in program history. It was pretty fun to watch.
Gabe, should they have run him more against A&M and, for that matter, Alabama? Can we go there? What is your take on that?
I've gone through that so many times. The thing is, against Alabama, they never had the ball. They weren't on offense to run him. They kept putting themselves in 3rd and 11, and they turned the ball over twice. Vandy, the one everybody focuses on is Vandy, and the goal to go 3rd and goal from the 2, and they ran 2 plays, and he didn't get the ball. And I understand the frustration over that. I would have run him twice. They didn't. They ran 2 plays that have worked a lot. They didn't work in that situation, so when they don't work, you get criticized for it. You know what sports fans do. Well, if you just change that, the whole season's different. We're in the playoff if you just give them the ball twice. There's no proof of that. We have no idea, but it's fun to say.
Hey, just thinking about that A&M game, and then Saturday, I looked at the score early when South Carolina's just just putting it up on them. And I was talking to friends later in the afternoon saying, "Oh, did you see South Carolina just beat the crap out of Texas A&M today?" And they lost. I mean, to me, I thought that would have been really nice. You get South Carolina, get that win. Maybe the Mizzou win against them looks even a little bit better, but didn't quite work out that way.
The first half I thought was really fun because I'm not a huge fan of A&M and liked watching them get beat. But then as the comeback started, I thought, well, this would be also fun to see Shane Beamer blow a 27-point lead. And then A&M took the lead, and I kind of went back to, I kind of want to see them blow it again. It was a real roller coaster watching that game, but it kind of shows like nothing in this league is easy. Mississippi State had pushed. They're 1-6 in the league now, but I mean they've had 3 games that they lost by a total of I think 16 points. It's easy to argue. I mean the team Missouri's going to finish like 9th or 10th in this league, and I can easily make the argument they're 2 plays from the college football playoff. But like I've always said, good teams make those plays, and bad teams talk about how close they were. And not that Missouri's bad, but they are not. They're not. They don't deserve to be a college football playoff team.
Is that? I mean, this is the argument that's always made about them, or the criticism so far in the Drinkwitz era is that they've had good teams, but no real signature wins. Is that a fair criticism?
I mean, it is to some extent, at least in the regular season. I mean, they did beat number 14 Tennessee 2 years ago. In 2023, they beat 4 ranked teams. So like they beat good teams. But yeah, they haven't beaten that elite team. They did beat Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. People like to say, yeah, but Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't play, and neither did Kyle McCord. Well, neither did Tyron Hopper and Ennis Rakestraw. Missouri had guys out too. So that one counts still. But it's fair. But the pushback I give on that is, well, Eli Drinkwitz has put you at a point where those are big games. Like he's put you at a point where 9-3 to you is a disappointment. That tells me he's elevated the program. You can, and the other thing Eli's done, he beats everybody he's supposed to beat. That win on Saturday was their 23rd straight win over a non-ranked team. Now, I have not gone back through to see the last time Missouri did that. My guess would be they never have. Played 23 straight games against unranked teams and won them all. So what Missouri has is pretty clearly a top 25 football program in the country and just not quite a top 10 program.
Last thing real quick, Gabe, can they walk into Norman and knock Oklahoma out of the playoffs? Now you want to talk about a signature win, one that you can build on. There's one right there. I don't know. They're great. They beat Alabama. Can you catch them? They'll be motivated at home to beat Missouri and finish this thing.
Right. I mean, on the right day, can you? Yes. I can't see Missouri getting to 20 points in this game. I think Oklahoma's got probably the best defense in the country, but I think Missouri's got a top 5 to 10 defense, and Oklahoma's offense is nothing to write home about. It's going to be an ugly game. It's going to be low scoring like last year was until it went absolutely off the rails in like the last 6 minutes. Can they? Sure. Would I expect them to? No.
Always good to visit with you. PowerMizzou.com. Gabe DeArmond. Always a treat to talk Tigers. We'll do it again soon.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Tom, before we say goodbye here on the Gashouse Gang, got a pair of tickets to go to Guns N' Hoses coming up November 26th. It is at Enterprise Center, and we need caller number 5 to the contest line at 314-955-1120. Tickets provided by Backstoppers. Winners must have a valid email address. Good luck.
That's going to be a fun night. Telecast on Fox 2. Chris Pronger, Jesse Finney calling the fight with me. Julie Tristan, ringside reporter. Jasmine Huda on the floor. Fox 2, Wednesday night. It is going to be amazing. Guns N' Hoses. It's an Emmy award-winning telecast. Back tomorrow with Bernie Miklasz on KMOX.